Hello, this Hangout on Air is live. Welcome to this midday morning taste challenge. Okay, it's kind of an emergency. Well, here's the problem. Here's the problem. I'm looking around, trying to. Well, what happened was I started thinking, because John and Neely this morning, I have to kind of halfway credit John and Neely because he was saying, what are we going to examine Friday? Because Tyler Mansell, who founded the International Beer Review Guild, which we are part of, and we continue to carry that on, but he split with the program. So we want to pick up the torch for Friday nights. And he was saying, well, we're going to examine Friday night. And I said, I don't know. I was thinking, I got to think about that. So then I'm thinking. And I said, oh, wait a minute. Stunning development. I forgot to taste challenge Scoresby against a lot of other things. So then I got scared. I mean, really scared within context of examinations, not scared in actual reality. The internet being sort of a fantasy world. But anyway, so I said, oh, let me check. So I checked Scoresby. Oh, no. Had never taste challenged it against Cutty Sark. So then a bit of panic set in. I said, don't tell me this. So I check again. Oh, never challenged it. Taste challenged it against 100 Pipers. Because I had Scoresby kind of at the bottom shelf in the back because the bottle's low enough where it'll fit in the bottom shelf. So I said, you've been overlooking it. What's wrong with you? And then I have the Cutty Sark, which is tall. You can see. Wait, set them on the table. You can see the nub of Cutty Sark. You can't see the Scoresby. So Cutty Sark's a good deal taller than it. Well, whatever the case, I hadn't been taste challenging it. I said, oh, what are you going to do? Luckily, we have these provisional ways out of this. I decided not to drink down the Kentucky Tavern Old Crow Jack Daniels Old No. 7 and Jack Daniels No. 7. I'm going to use them in taste challenges till they're exhausted against upcoming bourbons, like J.W. Dant, which I might buy, Tom Moore, which I might buy. I got to see. All right. And this new Albertsons brand, which you'll never see probably. I saw that at Albertsons. I said, look at these people. They never stop. It's just Albertsons never gets bored with introducing some obscure bourbon brand named after somebody you never heard of that they claim was one of the key founders of the bourbon industry. But it's kind of funny in a way, a cute little way. So I was like, I got to buy this next time I'm up here. I couldn't help but go in there Saturday before the Southeastern Louisiana football game, Houston Baptist of Southeastern Louisiana. So anyway, I said, oh, good, that gives me some leeway so I don't have to drink every day. I don't have to sip these whiskeys down every single day of my life. And so it gives me some open dates. And what will I do with the open dates? I said, well, I won't do anything. I won't drink whiskey. I don't even care to drink it, really. So, but then the Scoresby hit, and I said, oh, okay, so I can kind of play with that. So it's going to be one of those days, looks like you say, oh, that's an excuse. It's not an excuse to drink nothing. It's an excuse to take care of a problem which was created by my own carelessness. There is no way I'm going to let Cutty Sark pass by without going against Scoresby. I would be wrong, stupid, idiotic, and not to mention dumb. It happens, all right? Now, another thing that happened, and John and Neely will find this troubling, I actually paid more for the Scoresby bottle than I paid for the Cutty Sark. The Scoresby, this glass bottle, you say, that looks like Cabin Fever. The same bottle. Yeah, it was Diageo. This is their, like, American, look how pretty that is. Their American standard 750 bottle with that fancy top, fancy midsection, whatever that's called, shoulder area. I'm not a bottle expert. I paid $15.65, I believe, at International Market. Okay. I paid $13.99 for Scoresby at Rouse's. Isn't Scoresby more highly regarded Introduced in 1923. They're both, now this is 80 proof, that's 80 proof. That's from 1960. 1960, 1923. 1960, 1923. No age statement. Bottled in Scotland by Erdinger Group. Isn't it Edrington? Edrington. I knew that was wrong as soon as I said it. Edrington. Erdinger, that's the beer. Edrington. Beautiful green bottles. Got the compass on the back. Compass rose. Got the little notch for putting it on the rack. Fancy pants. There's also a Prohibition version, which is higher proof, aged longer, more expensive. And when John and Ilya and I were in the world of beverage, they had a Scoresby Cutty Sark special edition that was $250 for one bottle. We didn't buy it. Age 36 months. Yeah, it's one of these shipped to America, bottled in Connecticut. Bottled in Connecticut Colony and Plantations by Diageo. It's so fancy. And I like how Scoresby, which is a cheap scotch, these cheap scotches are the most, they're fun to play with because they say all these things, you know, it's like, how can this be true? The connoisseur scotch whiskey, see, now in Georgia, this is like $15 for the huge bottle. Over here, it's expensive. It's like $35 for the big bottle. I don't know how these companies price these things. This delightful blend of selected rare light-bodied whiskeys possesses mellowness to please the exacting taste of the connoisseur. Now, you know, there's so many connoisseurs in the world that are drinking Scoresby. You know what I mean? It's very rare. It's so rare, I saw it 2 days ago at Walmart on a closeout. And then in the background of this, there's a crest, a crest, a crest. They just keep repeating the crest. You know, that old British Empire crest, the crown, the shield with a deer, sunlight, a maple leaf, or a clover leaf. I think that's a sunlight shining on a flying eagle or some kind of hunting bird, a lion, a unicorn. You say the British Empire was founded on Scotch, you idiot. Okay. I don't know if it was founded on Scoresby Scotch, though. But it's the connoisseur Scotch. All right, so I got to do, I mean, it's going to, like I said, it's going to be one of those days. You say you're going to play catch up today, huh? I got, what else am I going to do, Scott? Oh, I forgot to mute it. I'm not sitting on this stuff ad infinitum. Sometimes you just got to do it. I was going to wash my car today. It's too rainy. It's going to be off and on rain. It's humid. My father told me, I don't think I would do that. He was about to wash the car yesterday, and he said, nah, it's going to rain. All right. I'm just getting so stressed out. Scoresby, okay. I can't even remember how to spell it, but the way I learned how to spell it was score, like you score in a game. B-Y, scores by, Scoresby. Oh, now, you say that ain't no sipping gourmet whiskey. Whoever said it was, except the company. It's a blending. It's a mixed strength scotch. I know that. I'm not totally detached from reality, and you just a little detached. Cutty Sark. It tells you on the website it's made for making mixed drinks. It's the highball scotch. This is not made. Even tells you on the website this is not made to sit by the fireplace, sipping and contemplating on the events of the day. That's right. It's made for mixing with drink. You know, mixing with whatever you're gonna, whatever scotch mixed drinks you make, highballs, cocktails. John Rathjen says, hello from Northern California. Jake Kaiwa says, yo, your Cal homie here too. John Rathjen says, sweet. Hello, you California people. Do you know I've only been to Northern California once in my life, and that was 12 years ago. And do you know how I got to Northern California? I drove in my own Toyota Corolla. What a trip. I bet you it's one of those junk mail calls. Ain't never heard of that number. They had a report on a local CBS television channel. They said that, and it was on CBS Evening News also. They said now we're at the point where over half the phone calls coming in on people's phones are junk calls, you know, like spam. You're like the first YouTuber who pronounces my name right. Thank you. Me, Jay Kaiwa. Well, I mean, a lot of people are illiterate. I don't say that in an ugly, smart mouth way. But I talk to people in my personal life and I watch them online, and I don't blame them. It's the schools they went to that don't teach phonics. You know, they teach whole word approach. Look at a word and recognize it. No, that's not how you read. You read by pronouncing things out. You can cure almost any reading disability with practice and the right approach. I really believe that. Anyway, they're both pale yellow. Golly gee, it looks like the King Square American blended whiskey. Wish me luck, because I got to go through this whole, all these shenanigans today to catch up. Oh, what's going to happen? Oh, what will be the result? Oh, what will be the fallout? I don't know. And does it really matter? It really doesn't. Okay. Oh, yeah, I got to mix them. So they look the same. They're both from Scotland. One is Edrington Group. One is Diageo. One is aged 3 years. One is aged who knows how long, probably 4. They're about the same price, okay? Yes, you can find the Cutty Sark on sale for $12.99, but that's not normal. Normally, you know, typically you're going to pay $13.99 to $15.99. Scoresby, I can't really answer to that effect because Louisiana has got a lot higher price point on it. I don't know why. Maybe because they sold it for a higher price in Louisiana 55 years ago. 58 years ago, and maybe it sold well and they just kept it there. Maybe in Georgia people were ignoring it. They figured they'd sell it as a budget whiskey and it took off and it does well. I don't really know. I'm just telling you what it's priced at over here. I'm a wine drinker, whiskey as well, beer, sake, shochu. And it cracks me up reading wine labels. This wine, that of the God's Nectar, will amaze you. Yeah, and it's $5.99 at Trader Joe's. Yeah, I had a Trader Joe's wine one time for $4.99, a cream sherry from Spain. It amazed me in the sense that it was that bad. I was amazed by the sheer badness of it. It was the worst cream sherry I've ever tried, and I've tried a good amount, and most of them were cheap. Taylor, Sheffield, Fairbanks, you know what I'm talking about, Christian Brothers. Not good stuff. Harvey's Bristol Cream, that's like a normal price. But then Trader Joe's, and I tried it. And it's from a major company too, but it's probably all their refuse that they would never dare sell. And it was dreadful. Oh, what a depressing experience. Oh, but I drank it all, but it was not good. And I said to myself, they're going to sell this with a straight face. And like you're saying, Jay Kaiwa, they're talking about how gourmet and wonderful it is. Oh, yeah, sure. It was $4.99 a bottle, and it was about $4 too expensive. Okay, I've mixed these up well enough, and they look the same. They're the same straw. I cannot get that Pabst APA can to stand up correctly on that Rolling Rock can. It just will not do it. It's so irritating. All right. Okay. Oh, what's going to be the result? I think the Cutty Sark will be more smokier and peatier. And I don't think either one of these is going to be particularly smoky. But it'll have a more peat, rich depth of aroma and flavor. It won't be a lot more, but it'll be relatively more. Okay. But overall, it'll probably be a tie. Oh, well, that's a lot of peat and compost, like organic. Like in Louisiana, it's so humid around here. And there's mold everywhere, and everything's rotting all the time, and everybody has sinus problems. So we're used to those kind of like rotting organic matter, you know, and so like this smells like that. And isn't it very humid in England, Scotland, and Ireland, and the Isle of Man, and the Shetland Islands, and all of that, the Channel, you know, like it's humid, maritime climate. And people are always wearing sweaters and bathing with Irish Spring soap and drinking Guinness. And dancing across over cross swords, doing all those Irish and Scottish Celtic things, and eating fish and chips and all of those things that they do there. I would just not live. I couldn't stand it over there because I can't. The humidity is bad enough, but that chilly humidity I can't stand. Louisiana has those horrible cold winters when it's like, you say, well, it's only like 43 degrees, 48 degrees. I know, but the humidity is so bad, you just feel chilled. It's so chilly. Okay. I live in Japan and it's humid as freak out. Is cursing allowed? Why curse if you could just write a word? It's humid as fabulousness over here. Oh, I believe it's humid in Japan. Why do you think they bathe in that hot water? Getting that hot water almost scald themselves when they bathe. Because they're cold. They want to get warm. Okay. You say, well, France isn't too cold because they don't bathe. Well, they do a little bit. Okay. The aroma here is more deep, more rich, more quality, more Cutty Sarkish. I don't know, but as they set up and they breathe, it kind of it devolves. You know, it doesn't evolve. The aroma devolves. It deteriorates into just grain whiskey. See, that's why they tell you don't examine them. They're like telling you on the website, oh, look, this is not made for sitting by the fireplace. You know, just mix it with Coke. Yeah, because the more you examine it, the more it breaks down. You know what I'm saying? As you go through it, it just becomes like, well, hell, that ain't nothing but grain alcohol. Right. And it's just like those blended whiskeys I did this morning. I was ripping and ranting and raving and ripping and hollering and all of that commotion over the King Square and the what was it from Kentucky? The what was that? Hey, I can't remember. It was so ordinary. Not the Heaven Hill. The the Beams 8-star. But they're almost a more honest product. Because right off the bat, from the first pitch, they scream grain alcohol. Okay, so they're just like, rah. But these are more insidious, and their introduction is like, oh, we have a lot of pleasant, rich qualities. But as you sip it and drink it and smell it down, it's like, nah, it's really just grain alcohol. Okay. Yeah, this one's got to be the Cutty Sark. It's just got more development to it. It's more quality. We live in a deluge of ordinary, unfortunately. France has that good Marc cognac, Armagnac, though. Yeah. I saw that Hennessy announced yesterday that they came out with their, what is it called? Distillers. I don't know. It's the number 3. Number 3. It's in that square bottle. It costs you a lot of money. They're on the third draw of it. Distillers. I mean, it's about what? About $80 a bottle. But I mean, it's really. You want cheap stuff? You want to be a cheapskate? Then drink what I'm drinking. You want to live a, you want to live a little and pay for quality? Then go buy that Hennessy number 3 and pay up. You pay your $80. Don't pay $18 and then act like you're drinking something that's worth $80. You know you're not. Everybody knows you're not. So forget it. Just call it what it is. I know I'm drinking a bunch of cheap stuff, tasting it, but I realize what I'm drinking. I'm not under any illusions, what I'm trying to say. I just find it comical what the bottles say. That's the fun. That's the most enjoyable part of all of this. It's just reading the labels. It's so funny. All right. It's kind of like when you read these car brochures, you go and it's like, how can it be that great? This vehicle is the most amazing technology. You just cannot. Okay. Well, the aroma's pleasant enough. Not great. But to be fair, if the company's telling you their product isn't that good, don't sit there and rip on them and say it's not that good. The company's telling you this to your face. They're saying on the website, well, it's really not that good. Okay, well, okay. It's got smoke. It's got some meatiness, like smoked pork, grain, corn, you know, some barley bread. It does have some quality. Don't sit there. I'm not going to sit there and talk about how garbage it is, because it isn't. I had to Google, but it looks like Master Blenders selection number 3, right? Master Blenders. Drinking a Suntory whiskey highball on the other side of the globe. Kakuichi is the whiskey 9 bones for a 5th. Truth in advertising, preach. Right. Yeah, I preach it too much, probably. Okay. Oh. Ouch. What did I do? Just get stabbed to the chest with an iron rod? No, I just felt like I did. Oh, I am not gonna. Wow. Ugh. Oh, it's making me salivate. It's like, wow, it makes you like slobber. It's so not particularly smooth. Oh, that screams Scoresby. You say, oh, but you're just negative, because they have thousands of alcoholics in every town that get their Scoresby daily. And yeah, I know that. So I can't go, if you want to call that a benefit. Okay. Sun's starting to come out. Okay. No. I mean, there's no way. There's no way. There's no way. No way. No way. That's got to be Cutty Sark. I'm not going to sit here and talk about how great it is, fabulous it is. If I want the fabulous, I'll go to the World of Beverage next time I go to Atlanta, and I'll buy the $250 bottle. But it does have a lot of characters. It's obviously a very precise production performance. You know what I mean? It's like you could get Jim Beam. Now, you know, the commercials talk about how it's awesome. Yeah, but I mean, it's $13 a bottle. That's how awesome it is. But in a sense, it is awesome that the consistency is perfected. It's always going to taste like Jim Beam, whether you like Jim Beam or not. It's up to you. But it's so perfectly done. You know what I mean? It's like every point is perfectly done. It tastes perfect. Said that too much. It tastes consistently like it's supposed to be. There's no off. That's what I'm trying to say. No off aromas or characters with it. Or Budweiser. I drank a Budweiser Saturday night. Now, people are always talking bad about Budweiser. And I'm not a Budweiser fan necessarily. But I was drinking that can, you know. They poured it in the glass, the cup, plastic cup at the game. And I said, nah, they're wrong. They're wrong. They're just wrong. I said, this thing is like perfectly executed. It's the way I saw it. It just from the first aroma down the sip, down the drink, down the glass, the 16 ounces was like perfect, 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 perfect. I'm not going to get on there and pick it apart and try to make a case that doesn't exist. I'm just not going to do it. Sorry, I can't. I can't do that. All right. Scoresby's, oh, I mean, it's all right. It's got some reason to exist. I'm trying to say there is a reason it exists. It's not totally illegitimate. It's not like it shouldn't, like the government should outlaw it or something. But think about that for a minute. There's a reason why there's no web page for it on Diageo. You know what I'm saying? Get on thebar.com. There's a reason they're not touting it. They don't even address it. If you look up Scoresby on their main website, it will say no results. Now, why do you think that is? Because it's that awesome. They want to keep it a secret. I'm pretty sure that's not the case. Why do you think Beam's 8 stars not listed on the Beam Suntory website? Because it's a jewel in the rough and they want to keep people from buying it? No, it's because they don't want to admit that they make it. All right? Let's call it like it is. Okay, let's see. Cutty Sark is doable. Yes, I'll go along with that. My ex used to get bottles of Scoresby and White Horse and things like that. We lived off of it for a while, but Cutty Sark can be dealt with. Yes, like Jim or Jack. She got them for free from her job. Well, okay. It's like McDonald's. That's what I always say. It's like McDonald's. It's not haute cuisine, high level food, haute cuisine, but it's perfect in execution every single time. I know you enjoy your sport. You think Warriors are going to take that championship 3 years in a row. I wouldn't be shocked. It would be the sensible money, that'd be your smart money. But weird things happen in the National Basketball Association, as we've learned from history. So you can assume it, but don't guarantee it, okay? Yeah. There's a lot of smokiness here, though, and a lot of smoked pork. I have to give credit where credit's due. I could sit here and talk about Cutty Sark has all these problems, but I'm not going to say that because honestly, it doesn't. It's a mixer, and it's designed to be. But it honestly has a lot of pork roast, smoked pork, maybe a pork butt with a lot of fat. Not that it uses any of that, and the peat and all of that. So yeah. It's better. I think it's better than doable. I know John Anile is really not a Cutty Sark person. He had a lot of problems with it, but I just think it's better than doable. With LeBron with the Lakers, oh, man. That's like the Grateful Dead song, going down the road, feeling bad, hey. Going down the road, feeling bad, hey. Good morning, Ron Cheer says two-throwed. If I keep doing these tape challenges today, I'm going to be throwed. But I got to do it. I got to get I can't stand these outstanding things. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't like these things outstanding. Like, oh, you forgot to do the Scoresby, so then you just got to wait around 2 weeks to do it. It's like, no, I can't take that. I want it done. I want it over with. For good or ill. Okay, I'm going to say this is Scoresby. Last sip. Oh, man. It does have some character, but it's so grain whiskey. It's so column still grain whiskey. I mean, oh, and I have what I'm going to eat for lunch? Watch this, and then I'm going to get off, I promise. All right, talking about niche items, right? Bush's Best White Hominy Maize Pozzolero. You say white hominy? What the deuce? Yeah, well, okay. I bought the golden hominy first. That's yellow corn grits, polenta, and they soak it in a way that it makes it puff out. It's sort of like popcorn, but it's popped with water instead of heat. It's really strange. Ingredients: white corn, water, salt, and sodium bisulfite. Oh boy, that sounds good, huh? Added to promote color retention. Okay. I don't know what people buy canned white hominy for, or golden. I just bought it and said, what would this taste like if you cooked it? Well, it wasn't bad. It tasted like grits, kind of like grits, Quaker grits. But it's wet instead of Quaker grits, or more of a dry product. So, but the reason I brought that up is because that's what the Scoresby tastes like. Grits, distilled grits. And that's what column distilled grain whiskey is. It's usually yellow corn grits, distilled to the hilt, up to like almost 100% alcohol. Then they water it down, or they, as they call it at the distillery, they cut it to the reasonable alcohol level, and they blend it with single malt whiskeys. Okay, I mean, that's how it works. Okay, good. Okay, so, well, you know, I was a little reticent to do this how are we gonna frame this taste challenge bender today, but it's kind of necessary to get that behind me. But that's okay. I'm off of work, so it doesn't matter. I'm not going anywhere. I went to Walmart at 6:30 this morning. I like to shop at between 6 and 7 in the morning. No lines. Just go get what you want. It's pretty nice. All right, so I'm gonna say this is Scoresby. Oh my gosh. Well, now I was concerned earlier. Now I'm terrified, frankly, and I'm not joking around now. Okay, well, we got a lot of work. I got a lot of thinking to do now. Okay, here we go. Take some breaths. Got to calm down. Lower that blood pressure. Just excuse me. I'm kind of freaking out right now. Smoked pork. Pete. Okay. You saw me. I was careful when I poured it too. Oh man, this clearly says Scoresby. Yeah, ain't no way to play that off. Woo, wow. Well, that's kind of scary. And I mean scary. Well, hey, well. Bear with me. I'm trying to figure out a way to weasel out of this. Yikes. Yikes. I just went on this whole 30-minute exhibition, right? A 30-minute exhibition about why Cutty Sark was more developed than Scoresby, and I'm sitting there getting bit on the you-know-what by Scoresby being more smoky, more peaty, having more pork fat. Oh, boy. Well, I was wrong. Well, if I'm wrong, yeah. Where's the smoke coming from? Well, Diageo, you did me in again. Why don't I learn my lesson? You know, because with Diageo, every time you punch, you know, you throw a right, you throw a hard right at Diageo, they'll come back and knock you off the platform. They'll embarrass you in public. Okay, Diageo, I got to give you credit where credit's due. I was talking trash. I was ripping on Scoresby to some extent, and you came back and set me straight, got me a little discombobulated. Well, I got a lot left. Edrington Group, well, you know, I would apologize, but, you know, I didn't make the whiskey, so I'm really not responsible for that. Seems to me you should have busted Scoresby's chops. So I don't know, man. Wow. Now, try to regain some dignity here. All right, so I'm shook up. All right, you know, hey, you go live on the air, on the internet, on the how people could get it, getting it over the electrical cord, you know, the cable cord or the Wi-Fi. Okay, so you go out there and you talk, you know, and you get beat, you lose. But now the 100 Pipers, I'm going to qualify that one because the 100 Pipers that kind of shook me up too, because that had a lot more smoky qualities than I had ever believed it would have. And I'm thinking, that's $8.99. That's really garbage, you know, but no. You say, what's the best-selling Scotch, one of the best-selling Scotch whiskeys in Thailand, Burma, India, East Asia, 100 Pipers. And you could be racist and say, well, that's just those people, those East Asians, they don't know good Scotch. No. I don't think about things along those lines. No, maybe it's because it actually is good. You know what I mean? You say $8.99 a bottle. How can it be good? I don't know. I can't explain it. All right. So in the United States, 100 Pipers is handled by Heaven Hill. Okay, Heaven Hill. We know about Heaven Hill. But around the world, it's handled. You heard what I said? By Pernod Ricard. It is distilled in Scotland, apparently at the old Seagram's facilities, and I don't know who actually owns that. I don't know what. It's very intricate. There's a lot of legal things to go along with that, going back 18 years. So all I know is that if you buy 100 pipers around the world, it's going to be handled by Pernod Ricard. But if you buy it in the United States, it's handled by Heaven Hill, and it has a slightly different bottle label. But it doesn't actually say produced by Heaven Hill. So it's a little confusing. But I have a feeling that's going to be a real contest. Scoresby versus the 100 pipers. Get ready for a real close call. Well, I'm pretty shook up by this. Cutty Sark, I don't know what to say to you. This is not the first time you've let me down. I don't know if I want to sail on that ship. You know what I mean? J. Kyle said, nah. Yeah, right. Nah. You got shook up. Right. Oh, man. Well, it's time to go for a walk. Yeah, I do have to walk it off. I don't mean walk off the liquor. That's a part of it because you're drinking is 80 proof. I mean walk off the stress of it, like getting it wrong, because I was so confident. I was so confident that Cutty Sark had just defeated Scoresby with no mercy. But nope, it was the reverse. That's the risk of doing the live blind taste test, and a lot of people will be quick to say, you're wrong, yeah. Which you can do. You're a viewer, do it. But where is your live taste challenge? That's all I'm saying. Where are you out there doing it? You say, I'm gonna wear a mask. Because I have a big time job and they can't see me doing it. Oh, okay, I got you. I didn't know that 7-Eleven was a big time job, but anyway, whatever. Oh, that's right. You count the money. I got you. Cutty is Cutty, says Kyle. Cutty. Hey, Spider, give me a Cutty and water. That's what drinking in real life is, though, says Kyle. It's why we love the ever-changing life of booze. Right. And I should look up Modern Drunkard magazine and see what articles they have about Scoresby and Cutty Sark. Modern Drunkard has some really interesting articles. They're written in sort of a jocular manner, like sort of a Hunter S. Thompson type approach, but they're interesting. I like what they do over there. If you look at it within a certain context. All right, so there's more coming. I got to catch up. On all this thing.